Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel from me and Millie. You might just see her there in the corner or hear her purring. So in this reading I'm going to share some global predictions that have come through to me channeled in terms of what I feel may be on the way, and then we'll pull some cards as well. It's really interesting that Millie knocked the deck there. Let's just see that card. Wow. The Ace of Swords, which is all about the truth. The truth coming out, which is something I was going to say, believe it or not, in my predictions, that by the end of this year, I feel lots of disclosures will have happened and the public will be quite aware of quite a few things and have pieced things together, so to speak. So, okay, there's our little prediction from Millie. I did wonder if she wanted to share something with the cards. She might do again later. I'll just share what else has come through to me channeled. Now, obviously I have said about blackouts in previous readings, and we have had blackouts around the world. Spain, Portugal, parts of the US. I'm seeing that happening again. US in particular is coming through where this may happen again. I'm also seeing a really big court case happen. It could be televised. I'm getting that it could be around the end of this year. So the time of recording this is 2025. As I say, that Millie has just jumped off my lap now. So she's gone for now. Quite a high profile person, I believe. This could be quite shocking. The shocking news is starting to come out that I did predict in a previous reading. That's what's going to continue to happen, I feel, this year. So that's another thing I'm seeing. I was also hearing washout, and then I got flash floods, which I have predicted in previous predictions, and that has happened. That may happen again. I feel it's all to do with like the purging, purification of our earth, which I feel is really happening this year. There could be non-stop rain in certain countries and places, streets even turning into rivers, which we have seen in some places around the world. So that may happen, but as I said, I'm seeing it as a good thing. Back to the news, I feel that many presidents or prime ministers may be forced out or resign. Now, again, I have mentioned this in quite a few readings. I did mention France and the UK in particular. I think it was last year. Some of you may have seen that the prime ministers from those two countries have been publicised, let's say, recently for something they've been doing, and which has not been, let's say, very good for their reputation. So I'm seeing that happening. That's starting to play out, I feel. There may be some other type of pandemic as well that could be deliberately released. This could be where governments collapse, because I do feel that happens globally. We no longer, I feel, anyway, this is my opinion obviously, with these predictions, but I feel we're not going to have the same sort of governments in the world. It's going to be different in the future. So if they're going to collapse, we may have food shortages for a while, mass depopulation could happen as a result as well. Now, something else I've been feeling for a while, I've kind of mentioned it, some of my predictions, is that tech giants will crumble. I feel there's going to be public distrust, so I feel in terms of this news, it could be related to some of these big tech giants, social media platforms. And I feel they'll be replaced in the future by smaller platforms. Now, I did mention that I felt there'd be some cyber attacks, which has happened in the UK recently. That may continue, as I felt. And I think I did mention in my previous predictions that some people may start to have problems like logging into social media, or as I said, distrust in terms of their personal information. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. This is all part of the dismantling, actually. One in particular begins with F, ends in book. That one in particular, I see it as very unstable. So everyone, I'm struggling to speak at the moment because I'm not allowed to share too much. You know, obviously I have to be careful with what I say legally. But yeah, I'm just seeing some of these platforms, the big ones, are quite unsteady. I'm seeing them like that, like they're shaking, about to crumble, like the House of Cards. Some of you might have seen that reading that I did. And my question is, what would happen to our society that's built on digital dependence? Could go two ways, couldn't it? We could have chaos, or we could have more innovation. What do you all think might happen? I think it would be a good thing, personally, because I don't think it's going in the right direction, but again, that's my opinion. What I was saying, back to what I was saying before about the purification of Earth, I feel that some people won't make it to 2026 as they've become spiritually stagnant. So those people will vanish or be erased from timelines. So they're what I'd call the people who have no soul. I might do a reading on this in the future, by the way. It's been something I've been thinking about doing. Those who have no soul, or they've just not found their purpose, they're stuck. So you might want to ask yourself, are you stagnant or are you evolving in terms of the timelines? And this is all part of the purification of Earth, as I said before the new age begins, I feel. I have mentioned before about souls leaving. Some have already left, by the way. I'll just mention it again in terms of why. So as I said about people being spiritually stagnant, they need to heal. So if they leave, they're just going to go to the spiritual realm where they can heal. Then our Earth will be new, let's say. Those who are left will help to build it, and then those other souls may return. Not all will, though. Some who are from different places, let's say, different entities, I don't feel will return. And they've started to go already. So that's what I was getting. quite a lot came through. So this card does link with what I felt in my prediction about disclosures coming out. Let's get some more on this truth. Anything else that comes out now with the cards about disclosures? So obviously there's going to be quite a lot, I feel. It will happen gradually. Okay, well, as I said that, we got the Chariot, which is really fast moving. And this speaks about victory. So it's going to be positive for us. The Ace is positive as well. Create this new beginning. With the horses running, I'm getting... Is it the 4 horsemen? Coming through. There's only 3 horses there, but that's what I'm hearing. So we might even get a sign like horses running wild. This is also the summer as timing. So June, July potentially, but timing isn't always accurate with tarot. Now with this I'm getting 5D, 3D, so the timeline shift that I said about. So certain timelines where people have evolved to the 5D, those other energies, we can see them here, they're quite dense, muddy, need to be healed, they'll be erased. So that's what I mean by that. I hope that makes sense. Like they can no longer exist in this higher frequency that we're moving into. It's happening pretty quickly with the Chariot, which I have felt. What about you? Have you felt it? Have you felt things speeding up? I have, for sure. So that could mean you're part of this shift. If you feel stuck, stagnant, that you're not going anywhere, you might want to look at that. Okay, bear with me everyone, a card's just fallen on the floor. Now sometimes they say on the floor, out the door, which is quite interesting. Look at the card that it was, the 5 of Wands, which is about conflict, and we can see it here. People at loggerheads, so that going out the door, literally. So that's the lower frequency energies. That's going to stop as we raise our vibration and move into this new earth. There could be some conflict, first of all. But I'm feeling a lot of those energies are going to be removed. You might find suddenly, this is about people vanishing. It might sound weird. It could even be a case of people being removed, moved. So in your area, you might suddenly see people no longer in their homes. They've gone. They've been moved, for example. Yeah, and this card, I mean, it's quite interesting. I'm seeing this like the new earth with the flowers there, blooming. And I'm being intuitively drawn to these moons, the moon cycles. But I'm also seeing it's like 2 different paths. Which way do you go? To the past? Or do you move on into the future with the Chariot as well? You know, the cactus is prickly. This is like all the denser energies, what you've been through. Are you ready to let that go and bloom? Or are you going to stay stuck, which we're seeing there, in that card as well. So these are like collective messages I feel coming through now as guidance. This card is also about reaping what you sow. So karma for certain energies, good or bad, that is. So let's take one more. Wow, that's beautiful, everyone. I'm seeing this as like the end goal. The 10 of Cups. Butterflies show transformation. The 10 is about a completion as well. Happily ever after. Mirroring. So see how here the 5D, 3D sort of not mirrored, let's say, but here they are. So there's going to be balance in the world, purification, as I said. That's really the main message I'm getting for this reading. But here's that stagnant energy, the bottom of the deck, with the Hanged Man. So let's just see the message here. Wow. Yeah, okay, so I'm getting quite a heavy energy now that I'm channeling with these cards. We've got Judgment and the 10 of Swords. So another 10 for people who are in that stagnant energy. It could be quite painful. Now, this could be an awakening with those two cards, where these people rise up and fly free like the butterfly. Or it could be an ending for those people, whatever that may be. It could be a decision that's made that's quite difficult for some people. They have to move. As I said, I'm really getting that, moving. The universe decides with Judgment. So whatever it is, the karma, the ending for these people. But this is the spiritually stagnant energies that I mentioned before, with 2 10s in the reading. Endings for those who are stagnant and those who are evolving as we move into this new earth. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards now. So any other messages? Wow. Now these cards have all flown on there, as you can probably see. So this, I feel, is a message for those who feel in a stagnant energy. Okay, we've got hole in the soul. There we go. So is it time to look at that hole in the soul, that void? Because for people who are in that energy, there's a void within. They may feel very angry, feel they have no purpose. Is that how you feel, for example? I'm seeing that like the Grim Reaper. I've got to put that out there. That could be coming for those energies, and that does link with the 10 of Swords as well. So, it's because, as I said, because these energies need to heal. And that's what I feel they'll do. Okay, so we've got soulmate as well. So for some it could be a past hurt that was linked to love. Someone you're holding on to. I'm getting karmic ties here. See how both of them are sort of clutching on to the heart, so to speak. So heart chakra blocks, which can link to like overthinking. Now, I'm not sure if you saw that, but I knocked the cards there, and we've got this one that's on show, which is the Fool. This is about a new, fresh start, new chapter. So this is what you're being guided to do. If you feel you're in that energy, you keep reminiscing about a soulmate, you feel a void, you don't feel you have a purpose, you feel pain, you're in an energy of pain, anger, hurt. That's all low vibration, 3D, this murky energy that came up before. And that's what needs to be healed. So as I said, if it's not healed in this realm, that's why some will go to the spiritual realm to heal, but it won't be able to sort of be in this frequency, let's say. And it's time to take off your mask. So this is the ego death. Really coming out. Wow, I've just got this like relief there from the heart chakra. So really getting heart chakra healing that's needed, connecting with your inner child, things you love doing. You know, that could fill the void. I mean, I see people, obviously because I can read energy, I see people out and about. I don't necessarily know them all. I know some. And they don't do anything with their lives, you know. They just stand around gossiping, doing nothing. That's their choice, obviously, but you know, if you have nothing to do, no job, you can find something to do. Everyone has a purpose, let's say. So, okay, that was quite interesting, sort of healing messages. I'm just being guided to this card, the Hanged Man, because it kind of looks like the caterpillar in the cocoon that's about to emerge, like the butterfly, which is there. So that is on the cards for some people. I feel people are going through awakening transformations. Just wanted to note that obviously this part of the reading seems to have moved into guidance, spiritual guidance, although this reading is about predictions. Let's go back to predictions now with another deck. I thought I was guided to pick this one out. It's the Fairy Tale Oracle. Quite a new deck you might have seen on my channel. Because a lot of what we're seeing is like theatre. People playing their parts, you know. Not all is real. Not all is even happening in real time. So I just felt this was quite apt. Fairy tale. What may happen that may link to a fairy tale potentially, or is there a sign we may have? Wow, they keep falling up there, as you can see. Okay, now I'm going to pull that one first. Bog is the key word there. That's reminding me of this card, that murky energy that we had before, 3D. First of all, so, and it says threshold, yeah, you see, so those energies are on the threshold of either rising up or sort of sinking, let's say, in the bog. But also I'm getting the floods again coming through. Also some stuff around underwater with the Little Mermaid. I think it was in my last tea leaf reading. I said that there may be some activity with dolphins and some things found underwater. So that's coming out here with this card. Is it even going to be something around mermaids? Who knows? Anything's possible, right? Okay, this one says, true name, know yourself. Now this one links with that one because there's a mask there. Wow, and she's holding a butterfly. So this is about people awakening to who they truly are. True name. Now I feel this is about like our past as well. See the books, Akashic records. I feel we're going to find out about all of this in the future. She's got a book with a key on it, so it's all been locked away within all of you, and I do feel this is going to be uncovered. Just looking at the books, it says poems there on that book. So some of you might have been a poet. I'm just getting randomly in a past life. Okay, and wow. Yeah, ladder of hair, it says spiritual ascension. There we go. So that is what I felt, isn't it, with the timeline shifts. People awakening to who they truly are. Coming out of that bog energy there. Noticing the bird there, and there was a bird on this book, which is a sign of communication, peace, hope. You might see a lot of birds, feathers. As you ascend, you might have signs in your dreams. With a ladder, you might see a ladder, for example. Okay, so that's quite interesting. We got Rapunzel, Little Mermaid, Rumpelstiltskin. Not sure if there's any other messages from those fairy tales, but there you go. Now the bottom of the deck, Bluebeard, it says face your shadow. So we really are getting a lot around spiritual awakening and ascension in this reading that I feel is going to continue to happen this year. See, there's a watch there, so the time is ticking for people to do this. Face your shadow. This has come out in a lot of my readings recently, actually. You know, when things come to the surface, maybe linked to your past, try to face them. Don't push them down, because then you're blocking your energy system and your chakras. We've got a sign here, it looks like Scorpio. Scorpio season coming through there, possibly as timing, because we've got the watch as well. So I believe that's October, November. That really does link, because I do feel this year is like the year, as I said, of purification of the earth, not only the physical earth, but of the energies, the people who are here. It's time to do the work and decide, you know, what you want to do. Do you want to evolve or stay where you are? So wow, that's pretty powerful with that one. So we're kind of seeing it in these two cards here, actually, in terms of what I said before about the timelines. You know, some will ascend up the ladder and some will stay stuck. That's what I'm seeing happening. This year potentially, but obviously with predictions, time is fluid. So it could even be later. So, another deck now. Anything else we need to know? Wow, everyone. I love it when the cards sync up. It says clean up, declutter, accountability, home. So a few things, obviously not just your home, but also your mind and also the earth, the purification of the earth. Like I said, about 17 is the number of the star, which is about hope and healing. This is, I feel, the new earth. It's going to be like that. Picture perfect, green, as it's meant to be, as everything is cleaned up. That's what I'm getting. And with the word accountability, I feel that's going to be, you know, what some people will need to do, but also like globally, these people, you know, these lawsuits, people in power are going to need to take accountability for what they've done. I'm getting now the weather, what's been done to our earth, because it's been manipulated. The climate hoax is coming through. When I say that, I mean, you know, when they talk about global warming, climate change, it's all been fake. And that energy in particular, who's come through in quite a few of my readings, it's now coming through again. The one that's been manipulating the weather and what's been put out there, and also manipulated our health system. That big court case I mentioned at the beginning, I feel could be that person. I'm just seeing the link now with this card, so wow, it's quite interesting. People are going to find out the truth about that, but I feel it's like, because some people don't know, it's going to be like drip fed into the media first, and then people will know exactly who that individual is. It's interesting, we've got a fox now, so I'm talking about that. A cunning energy, definitely, who took an opportunity when they could. They were greedy. This is also, I'm just being drawn to the word discernment. Use your discernment as well, in terms of that energy. If they're out there in the media, for example, some people might not believe it. That's what I mean about, I feel they're going to need to, I feel what they're going to do is, as I said, start to release more information about that individual. Let's take one more of these. And we got the owl. Very wise owl. It says take flight. There you go. That's about ascension that we said about before. We got a butterfly, and it says transformation. So that is linking back to what I felt at the beginning. The transformation of souls who have evolved and awakened, who are wise, and the transformation of our earth. So it's kind of going back to that initial message I said, the purification of earth. That's really what I feel has come through in this reading, and what I said from my channeling as well. Wow, now the bottom of the deck we've got another owl. So you might be very drawn to owls, you might see a lot of owls. As it's about, wisdom, intuition, messages as well that may come to you. Your intuition may increase for some of you as you awaken. That's what you'll find. The more you release emotionally, the clearer your mind will be, and you'll receive more downloads, for example. So yeah, synchronicities are going to happen this year as well, in terms of the way things unfold. It's all happening in divine timing. As I said, I can't say when, because that's up to the divine. But it's all like meant to happen in this way, I feel. So in terms of things being uncovered at the right time, so I'm being guided to the watch there again. In terms of the messages, the truth that's going to come out, which came out right at the beginning from our prediction by little Millie. She's now gone off to have a nap, I think, but I hope you all enjoyed seeing her at the beginning. So, I really hope you've enjoyed this reading and the messages that have come through. It does feel very positive in terms of the messages that I've received, I feel. So keep your vibration high. As I said, do the work, keep ascending. Seem to be the main messages that have come through. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you feel as well. Anything that came through to you intuitively from the cards. Because sometimes after a reading, sometimes even for me, when I watch it back, I see things and think, there's like other little clues there, for example. There could be personal messages that have come through for some of you here as well, in terms of spirit animals, the owl in particular. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for your support, for viewing. Thank you to those who sent donations via the super thanks, coffees and PayPal. It really means a lot and helps me keep the channel going. I'll be back soon to do another reading. Sending peace, love and light to you all.